Am I the butthole for turning my partner's mother away? Context: I, 32 female, own my home. I started dating someone, 35 male, around 18 months ago, and his earnings were impacted by the pandemic, so he asked to move in with me. I wasn't 100% comfortable, but I agreed. It's been going fairly well. I haven't been able to get to know my partner's family the way I would if things had been organic. We met a few times and I've spoken to them via video call. They seem pleasant. Unlike him, I've been able to work from home for the past year, and the toll it took was that I gained weight. It's not a big problem, but I bought some equipment and committed to working out at lunchtime 3x a week. Yesterday, I had an unexpected knock at the door around lunchtime. It was my boyfriend's mother. She said she was in the area and decided to come for lunch so we could get to know each other better. I told her I had plans, working out then showering, but that if she wanted to arrange something in advance another day, I'd really like to spend some time with her. She seemed a bit shocked, but she left without incident. When my significant other got back from work, he erupted the second he got through the door. His position is that his family are welcome anytime in his home, whether he's there or not. He is not prepared to budge on that. My position is that if someone turns up unannounced, they don't get to be offended when someone doesn't invite them in. As I'm free to be honest here, I do not consider this his home. Our agreement is that he pays for half of the bills, energy, internet, water, etc., but the mortgage is mine. It's my home. He's here because he couldn't make rent, and ultimately if I don't like unannounced visits, then they don't happen. He's been calling me a narcissist and saying that I'm on a power trip, etc., whereas I think I'm enforcing a perfectly sensible boundary. Am I the butthole here? Not the butthole. You gave him an inch, letting him move in when you weren't 100% okay with it. He's trying to take a mile. This is my house, and this is what I expect of you. Here's your crap, mate. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Original poster replies. This is the perfect description. I gave him a place to stay and he's taking my house as his very own. He's currently sat upstairs in the bedroom stewing about it a day later, and he's only coming down to get food and drinks and make a big thing of banging around. It's pretty horrible and it is making me feel really awkward. The devil in me wants to go up there and tell him that he doesn't get to do that, but I've had enough of being called a selfish narcissist, power tripper, blah blah for now. The more the comments come in, the feistier I'm feeling about it though. You know, you're right. Your family should be welcome anytime in your home. So I think the best thing to do is for you to go find your own home now, and that way you can welcome your family there anytime they and you want. Not the butthole. Original poster. This, pointing finger. Exactly this. Love this. Perfect. This is a glimpse into what your entire future will look like. You setting a reasonable boundary and him guilting/shaming/screaming you into letting it go. And you'll make yourself smaller, and smaller, and smaller, all to make this man more comfortable, despite the fact that he's never once cared about your comfort. And if his mother is the type to show up unannounced once, you can bet she'll do it again. If you relent on this, expect to find her inviting herself into your home against your will. After all, this guy obviously learned his entitlement somewhere. I'm actually fearing more that he'll give mommy her own key to a place that he neither owns nor has officially signed a lease for. Shudder. She did say he expected them to be allowed whether he is home or not, so probably. This, original poster. Listen to Spunky Radcat, you'll make yourself smaller, and smaller, and smaller. Perfectly said. Been there. Still getting myself back. This day later, filling the house with the weight of his anger is a huge red flag. This is how he handles conflict. It will always be like this. The accusations he's flinging at you sound a lot like projection. Even if you were clearly in the wrong, you're not, but even if, his reaction would be a toxic. Not the butthole. Plus she then obviously called him to complain. This, 1000%. If he's reacting this way to your boundaries, he needs to go. Throw the whole boyfriend away, and let him find a new place to live. His parents, for instance. Oh yeah, so selfish, stepping in to let him stay in your house rent-free and only helping with bills when he was unable to pay for himself to live anymore. You terrible horrid person. Have you noticed in every story in this sub where somebody calls original poster selfish, it's never op? Ever. You should tell him that if he wants to be treated like a tenant, he needs to pay rent. The sad thing is, when she's ready to cut her losses, she's going to have to evict him since he is legally a tenant. No, he's a boarder. Tenants live in their own unit, a boarder lives with the landlord. As such, boarders have fewer rights, because they are in the landlord's home. Actually, that depends on the state and municipality. It does absolutely depend on your location. My sister let a friend stay for a couple of weeks, and then she refused to leave when asked. It ended up costing my sister attorney's fees to make her friend leave. It got really crazy, like single white female crazy, before the court made her leave. This was in Virginia, by the way. Only if he kicks up a fuss about it. But he sounds like a perfectly sensible grown adult who definitely wouldn't do that/s. Even if it was your joint home, this wouldn't be okay. Asking someone to tell you when they're coming over is not an imposition, and it's a perfectly reasonable boundary. Even if it was his home, it's your home, too, and he doesn't just get to set rules that affect both of you without your input. Regardless of legal home ownership, this is basic courtesy. I had my partner move in a few years ago, and we were pretty clear that only a few friends had drop-in rights. And no one is ever just in the area without any warning to themselves. You walk/drive/do your crap in the area, which gives you enough time to, at the bare minimum, flick a text saying you're in the area. Can't imagine turning up to someone's home, who's barely an acquaintance, and expecting him or her to invite me in. My sister lives a state over, and by coincidence, my childhood best friend lives about a 30-minute detour in the next town over. We've known each other 13 years, I was best chick in his wedding, as close as we are, even I would never drop in because I'm in the area. I usually text him at least a week in advance when I'll be visiting and ask if he has time to get coffee. Exactly. Original poster is working from home. I'd say, he doesn't just get to set rules that affect you when he's not even there. Send him back to his mama. Sounds like he has his feet too far under your table. Huh. It took me this long to realize if she lives close enough to randomly pop by, she lives close enough for him to go move in with the mom. My response would be, if you truly think I'm a selfish, narcissistic power tripper, then you wouldn't want to be with me. And if you don't think those things and you're saying them to hurt me and get your own way, then I don't want to be with you. Pack your crap and leave. Edit. Thanks for all the love, guys. This response is so good, I backed out of this post, went to open my free award, and came back to give it to you. This is truly insightful, and damn do I wish I had this clarity in the way I see interactions in my own relationships. Edit. Missed a word. Maybe your boyfriend was right about his family is welcome in his home at any time part. But not in yours. He didn't even say our home, even though it's yours, he said his home. And still prissy and butthurt after a day and gives you the silent treatment, stomps around like a toddler. And name-calling? Gaslighting you and using your relationship with your parents for it? For real? And in his mid-30s. Tell him to go on his merry way and get a home for himself and play entertainment for his family somewhere else himself. I don't think you want to waste your time on someone like him. His entitlement is out of the galaxy huge, along with his arrogance. No way in hell that I would put up with this. It's better to be single than to stay in a bad relationship, be with the wrong person. Not the butthole. Does he even plan to move out at some point? Is he looking for places? Or now that he got you to take pity on him and let him move in when you wasn't ready for it yet, he thinks you two will just live together for the rest of the relationship? Sounds like he takes after mom. Manipulation. Easily offended. No boundaries. Why are you with him again? All of this, and I feel also some gaslighting. Don't talk. Just show him this post along with the overwhelming unbiased feedback. Original poster replies. I've been slagging him off, but I might just do that anyway. He's now acting petulant and making you feel uncomfortable in your own home for something entirely reasonable. Even if you were married and he paid 90% of the mortgage, as a part owner you're entitled to advance notice of guests so it doesn't interfere with other plans and allows you to do any preparation, cleaning, organization, clothing, hair and makeup. That certainly isn't the case since this is your home. He's paying nothing in the way of rent to reside there, and he's a temporary guest who's attempting to exert control and influence. He is counting on you to back off. He needs to leave, now. Not the butthole at all. No, just tell him to go. His name-calling, entitlement, and greed are unacceptable. Pack his crap for him. God, I'm going to heat up the popcorn for this update. Do you really want to spend your life with someone who disrespects you so much he makes rules without talking and getting a joint agreement? Triangular flag on post, who punishes you by screaming and sulking? Triangular flag on post, who is so emotionally immature he can't apologize, but immediately shifts the blame over to you. Triangular flag on post, triangular flag on post, triangular flag on post. This man is abusing you. This level of emotional immaturity in a grown-ass adult isn't going to change. He has shown you your future. Please dump him, and please update us. Please ask this man to leave your house at once. Maybe his mom can take him in? He should be your ex-partner with that attitude. Not the butthole. Erupting and banging around are not attractive. I would really consider staying with this guy. If for some reason, sticking around him seems appealing, mutual expectations must be set and agreed to. The home isn't marital property, the ball's on him asking to move in and calling it his home. They who pay set the rules. If he doesn't like that, he can start paying you rent. He's showing original poster who he really is, triangular flag on post, triangular flag on post. Yeah, he wants to call you names and play power games. I'd call the relationship over at this point. Not the butthole unless you stay with this dude. You know how your gut feeling was telling you not to let him move in. Yeah, this is why. I think it's time he moved out. He can find a cheap room, I've been there, done that, it's doable. Or go stay at his mommy's, considering his house is her house. Not the butthole. If he wants to see his mommy anytime he wants, he can go live with her. Dude, kick him the F out. Honey, this is your home. You are not the butthole for enforcing boundaries in your home. He and his family are going to walk all over you. He needs to walk his tail to his mama so they can visit each other indefinitely. Ditch the guy and, triangular flag on post, triangular flag on post. Are you kidding me? He's throwing a literally tantrum. Go up there and tell him to grow up or get out. That is your house and he can leave if he doesn't like it. Honestly, don't even give him a choice. Kick him out. He's an adult and can figure out his stuff. You should never be uncomfortable in your home. Time to let this relationship go because he does not respect you, and if this is how he handles things, it will only get worse. Just start the eviction process in case he won't leave when you boot him. He's baiting you with that childish banging. This what you're looking for in a life partner? He's an entitled prick, and then to call you a narcissist because you have boundaries? He can F right off. Not the butthole, and consider how much more of this bullcrap you want to put up with. Oh, I'm sorry, did not realize you were dating a 10-year-old. Not the butthole, by the way. Just pack his crap and leave it on the porch. His mommy can come and get it when he moves in with her. Take heed of these comments and kick his ass out. As things are now, it's not going to get better. Practice this line, it's both empowering, and shuts down those type of comments. You know that's not true. His name isn't on the deed, it's not his house, and you are under no obligation to entertain his family, especially with no notice. Tell him to use plenty of seasoning if he's intent on stewing in his own juices. Not the butthole. Not the butthole. Please change the locks when he leaves. Not the butthole, and please see a lawyer to formally protect your asset. Not the butthole. This type of arguing would be deal breaker for me. He doesn't get to dictate that his family is allowed to come over when he's not home and expect you to entertain them. Getting called narcissist? Original poster replies. I'm an only child and didn't spend much time with my parents when I was young. He sees this as me having a broken idea of what it means to be part of a family and claims that I've never learned to care about or think of anyone except myself. I have a really good relationship with, and contribute to the well-being of, my mother, who happens to have some mental health issues, so I don't think that the looks pretty effed up on paper take really applies. This comment is a very long-winded way of saying that I really don't appreciate him claiming I'm a narcissist. He's wrong. I have a good relationship with my family and I still don't like unannounced visitors. Family or friends. But his reaction seems like projection or a major overreaction. I live on the same piece of property as my in-laws and they don't even stop by unannounced. I didn't even think about this until your comment. I'm currently living in BF's parents' basement, for COVID reasons, and they made it immediately clear that they regard that as our space and never come down unannounced at all if we don't want them there at a given time for some reason, like if I were exercising and then planning on showering. And it's part of their house. They just respect us enough to know that we still need our privacy and our own space. I'm in the same position, and absolutely, 100%, same. He's bullying. Plenty of people are supporting you, but I want to reiterate this: you are not a narcissist for simply not wanting to have a house guest with no notice. This was not some kind of emergency where the woman needed to be let into your house immediately. This was a surprise visit in the middle of a effing workday. It is the height of impropriety for a woman you barely know to come to your house in the middle of a workday and expect you to feed her and have a get-to-know-you conversation. Honestly, it kind of makes me wonder what Ops partner told his mother about Ops work and habits for her to get the impression that coming over in the middle of a workday was acceptable. We can't be sure obviously, but I get the feeling that maybe the partner and his mother are the type that thinks since original poster is working from home she's not actually working and thus has time to entertain guests. WHO comes over without calling/texting first? And then gets upset about you not rearranging your schedule last minute? Oh hell no. And this is why I never answer the door unless I know who's coming over. Unwanted intrusions. I always text my son to ask if it's okay to stop by and I don't get butthurt if he says it's not a good time, maybe next time. It's called courtesy. Banging and slamming for the express purpose of making another person uncomfortable because you are angry is abusive behavior. I'm angry, and rather than cool off or walk away, I'm going to disturb the space around you so that you must acknowledge you've made me angry. Not the butthole. Boot the dude. He's pushing the only children, I am one, are spoiled brats bullcrap. He asked to stay in your home and it is right that he helps pay some of the bills and do chores. But he absolutely does not get a say on the rules of the house. This my mother is welcome in my home at any time is in seriously /just no-so territory. No one should simply be welcome in your home at any time without prior approval. Not the butthole. He knows you're not a narcissist, he knows you're not power tripping. He's using guilt, shame, and anger to emotionally abuse you into getting his way. He knows exactly what he's doing if he's still banging around and stewing after a day. I'm one of 3 and my husband is one of 3, we love our families but hate unannounced visitors. Just because they are family doesn't mean they can stomp all over boundaries. Yep, he's wrong. I own my own home and my boyfriend lives with me and he pays half the mortgage and half the bills. Not even my family can show up unannounced because it's just rude. He needs to get his panties untwisted or else kick him out. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.